What's the status as you and I are talking right here, right afternoon on Wednesday, with Urban Meyer in Jacksonville? Best you can tell.
Well, as best I can tell, he's still Jacksonville's coach. He has addressed, as you mentioned, his team in full. He described himself as someone who embarrassed both the team and his family. He said that he takes full responsibility. He talked about basically how he failed the team and how he should not have done what he did. It was, a couple minutes long. I think it was necessary. It was important. How did the players take it? I don't know, but it needed to be said. I don't think they're going to try less hard on the field. And also they're 0-4, so there really is nowhere to go but up. But I think it was necessary. I haven't heard any change in his job status. I think the, remarks by Shad Khan, the prepared statement by Shad Khan yesterday were extremely noteworthy. I honestly can't remember an owner really saying anything like that. That was a very strong public rebuke, and it was not off the cuff. So he is still the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach, but, I would say very clearly been put on notice.
I'll be honest with you. I cannot believe that this is the way the first 4 weeks played out in Jacksonville. I'm trying to, compute that a CEO, head coach who has nothing but winning on his resume, just on the football field, obviously. Off the football field, there's lots of apologies that Urban Meyer has been forced to give in his career. But I still cannot believe that the conversation of whether he and his team can trust him, or that management and his team is questioning their trust level in him. I would never have predicted. Never would have predicted that.
I would
with
agree.
Urban Meyer.
I did not see of all of the NFL scandals. I did not see this coming on my bingo card. I've seen many of them. I've heard a lot of weird, very strange things, but this one I did not see coming. I honestly can't even remember any circumstance of a player not flying home with his team, or a coach not flying home with his team. I guess it probably has happened. I cannot think of any off the top of my head.
Well, in that regard, Ian, he said today, Urban said today that Trent Baalke, the general manager, who was hired after him, and I imagine was hired with Urban's blessing, right? That's the way these things go in the NFL when you hire somebody of Urban.
Has final say on all football and on all hires. So
right. Yeah. So that you still have to be able to say, Urban, you do that, and you're opening yourself up to so many problems. I would counsel you not to do that. Don't do it, or something has to be done, right?
Yeah.
I imagine some form of accountability. That would be a blind spot in the flow chart that the Khan family probably didn't see coming, right? That somebody would consider that.
Let's just, Shad Khan, like all owners, is very rich, has use of a plane. Urban Meyer said, hey, Shad, I'm tired, man. It's been a long grind. I really need 2 days. Can I borrow your jet to go to Columbus after I fly home? He would have given it to him, right?
Right, so, or the amount of money that he makes from the Khan family. That's what Mike Lombardi mentioned yesterday. It's just hey, it's an inconvenience, an extra, 8 hours of plane travel, but at least you fly back with the team and then you wake up the next morning and you go. You're tired when you're around the grandkids, but I'm sure if Urban could wave a wand, he would realize. But let's just say this, and then we could put a button on it. What is the rest of the NFL community that you're talking to about your job? Are they all asking you what are you hearing in Jacksonville? Are they just as shocked as we are?
Oh,
right
no, they're telling me everything that they hear in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Everyone has a coach that they know or an executive that they know who's heard about, all the things in Jacksonville. And this happens when things start to kind of spiral out of control. Everybody wants to weigh in. And I think as a reporter, you sort of have to be careful because, one of the weird things in our world is when someone comes into it, like Urban Meyer from the outside world, the college world, I think it's fair to say there are a number of people who really would just like him to fall on his face and fail, who thought this was a ridiculous thing for Jacksonville to do and thought he has no business in the NFL. And those people are very happy right now. I don't know how this is going to end. The recent days sort of suggest this might not end great, but we really don't know. They have a great young quarterback, and that's a great place to start. But there are definitely people who are sort of celebrating this and doing the I told you so, and then saying, hey, by the way, have you heard about this other terrible thing in Jacksonville? So not a good time to be a Jaguars person. But if they win a couple games and Trevor starts to show the promise that he showed Thursday night, this probably all goes away.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.